Why would a supercar go off-road? Yet, this Goliath exists, and you can't buy one. But who says I can't transform my wreck into something even greater? In the solitude of my home garage, I repaired it, crafted a one-off body kit from unexpected parts, and dared to use a strange paint for a stunning result. But the heart of the 4x4 look? The wheels. I did the opposite of what everyone would, gambling on a set 3 sizes smaller without even knowing if they'd fit. In this episode, I finished the bumpers and transformed the wheels, but can I overcome the challenges to create something truly unforgettable? Stick around and find out. Since working outside was not an option, I moved everything inside and I resumed working on the bumpers. And because I painted the gloss black a few days ago, it was properly dry, so it was safe for me to start masking them for the next stage. However, the lower parts of the bumpers tie in together with the wheel flares, so it only makes sense to have them looking the same and have a continuity design-wise. But I'm going to paint them in black Raptor just to play a bit with texture and make them look sophisticated without the use of multiple colors. Because I'm painting inside, I need to cover the car to protect the paint, and I'm sanding the flares to make sure that the paint is not going to flake off. I degrease them and put them to the side to dry, and if you like this, please consider to support my channel and subscribe, as this project has much more to offer. And when I was all set to paint,
okay, it's like 1 AM. I needed to paint the black Raptor for the bumpers, and when I opened the box, there's no hardener inside. I thought maybe that I ordered the wrong thing, but I looked on the box and it says bottle kit, so I'm pretty sure it should be with a hardener inside, but it doesn't have one, so I'm just... it's just... oh, it is what it is now. I'll have to call it a day. I can't do anything.
it is the morning after I managed to look into the problem, and I definitely ordered the right stuff, but for some reason the hardener was not inside the box, so I think I'm just that lucky. And because I'm really tight with time and the nearest walk-in store to pick up a kit is a 3 hours round-trip drive for me, I'm just thinking now to mix up normal paint hardener with Raptor, and hopefully it's gonna go hard. Okay, it sounds a bit off, but you know what I mean.
A few hours later.
I don't think I can afford any surprises at this point, so I just went and picked up another kit, and let's hope that this time it's gonna work all right. And now that I have all the materials, I resume working on the bumpers. But when I degreased them, I was able to see different spots that still need fixing, so I applied a bit of filler. And after I mixed the Raptor paint, I started spraying the bumpers. There are many intricate spots, so I need to take my time and make sure that I cover everything. However, because outside was still very windy and I had to paint inside where I have limited space, I touched the corner of the rear bumper. The defect was very obvious, so I've decided to remove the Raptor while it was still wet. Therefore, I sprayed the bumper with thinner to let it soak and soften the paint, and then with a cloth I started to rub it off. But suddenly I had to stop because I felt something was not right. Something is really wrong. This hurts a lot. It burns, so I think the gloves broke because I only have these blue ones, which I never use because they're just too thin. And yeah, I need to go wash my hands quick. I washed my hands really well, and then I had no other choice but to put on a new pair of gloves and carry on. Today is the day after, and I'm really upset for what happened yesterday, because when I put my hands back into the gloves it was hurting even more. But anyway, I pushed on. I took my time. I finished around 4 AM, but to be honest, the result it is, I'm so happy with this. I think it turned out really good, so have a look at yourself. And it just looks brilliant. The bumpers turned absolutely great. And then the rear, I think it is really good. And now hopefully the black is still black, so I might just put the wheel arches on the floor now, and let's have a look on the black bit. Because I used paint thinner to remove the Raptor, the gloss black got slightly damaged, so I'll have to repaint it. But you can spot the damage only if you're really close, and because I'm running out of time, it will have to stay like this for now. When I use masking tape, I never leave it on for a long time in the sun or to get wet, because then there's a big chance of the adhesive to transfer on the surface and it's a nightmare to clean. This looks really good. I can't wait to put it back and see the finished bumper assembled. And because I finished painting, I can remove the cover and carry on with the work. I still can't believe how cheap it looked after I sprayed the paint and how good it looks now that it's dry.
The texture is small and because of that it has this satin look. It was a gamble having no experience with this paint, but I really think it paid off. To install the wheel flares on the panels, instead of using nuts and bolts to squeeze them together, I'm going to use this. This is the tool and these are the fasteners. They're called in many ways, nutserts, riv nuts, but they're all the same, basically rivets that have a thread inside. You screw the rivet onto the tool, push it through the hole, and when you pull on the handles, the thread side gets pulled towards the panel and makes a small leap to secure it into place. And that's it. Now this unscrews and we have a nice secure fixing. After I finished the first corner, I carried on installing the riv nuts to the remaining panels, and next I'm installing this alignment clip for the bumper. This one goes right here. That's it. And now it just has like a screw that secures it into place. And then the mounting point for the brake lights. I removed the paper that I used to mask the side vent and fuel pipe, and I'm installing the drain flap. With a sharp knife, I begin to peel the masking tape off the fuel cap sticker, install the plastic clips and then the fuel pipe cover. Tighten the 3 screws, connect the cable, install the fuel cap, and last, I need to check if the cable releases the latch. But when I close the fuel door, I notice that we need to do a touch-up over there. And the reason why I need to do it? It's because it's rubbing, that's why. I've used a bit of force to bend the door hinge, and now it's not rubbing anymore. Normally I should use a small brush, but to be honest, I don't have one, so a cable tie will have to do the job. I've mixed a very small amount of paint, and with patience I'm tapping a small amount of paint over the damage. Okay, that's it. I covered the table with a cloth so that I won't do any scratches, and I'm assembling the rear bumper. The lower part of the front bumper just presses into place, and there is one screw on each side to keep it secure. And now that both bumpers are assembled, let's stop and have a look. Obviously these fins are gonna be made different, and I'm pretty sure I was definitely right with the gloss black, because I think it looks already apart. On this other side, you can see better the drain flap that gets clogged if it's not cleaned, and the reason of having water inside the cabin. As I'm assembling the handle, for the past 2-3 hours, I've been looking everywhere for the lock, and it is just missing. It is nowhere to be found. It's just, yeah, I've looked everywhere, I mean everywhere, and then just by mistake. But when I started to install the lock, I realized that this mounting point was missing. Previously the handle was replaced by someone else, but the insert broke and remained on the door, so they just got lazy and pushed the lip in. I wish I've spotted this before I painted the car, so now I'm just being super careful to cut the insert out, and I'm bending the lip back to its place. Push the handle in, and with the long nose pliers I'm doing the final adjustment for the mounting point. Perfect. Job done. So yesterday evening I've installed the windows, the trims, all the rubbers here. Now for the soft top, I've decided that instead of installing the original one, which is in really good condition, it doesn't have any tears but it's made out of vinyl, because I have another project car outside that has a mohair roof, and since I'm making this car really nice and posh, I said why not just put the mohair roof on this one instead of that original. So this is the plan now. Get the mohair roof, install it, and then carry on. I wouldn't call the roof light, and it's definitely awkward to handle because of its size. Plus, I don't have a lot of space. At this stage, a helping hand would be ideal, but since I have no help, I better not scratch the car now. We are inside the car. Now I need to think of a way to install it, and let's go, let's do it. I think that the only way I can do it alone is to hang one side and then the other. After that, it should be a lot easier because the weight of the roof is held by the car. Now, I need to wrestle this lump and get it as close as possible to its place without scratching the car. And I have to say, it was really close. Let me catch my breath, because I'm starting to get impatient. The pillar has 2 alignment pins on each side to which the roof rests until it's secured into place. There you go.
Oh, you muppet. And now this side. Oh, this side is in as well. Let me just try to put it up.
With the roof back on the car, I'm installing the two main bolts that secure the mechanism to the B-pillars. Now I'm pushing the rear of the soft top against the body, I'm installing the metal plate and I'm tightening all the nuts. There are two more metal plates on each side that are part of the mechanism that I need to secure as well. I'm installing the hooks of the window frame to which the soft top grabs onto, and now that everything is on, I can finally secure the roof on the car. Next day. These are the wheels, nice and nib-dish. And now tire choice. So initially I've picked up these ones, 205s, really nice and wide, good pattern. And then I picked up these ones which are proper all-terrain tires, Pirellis, really nice. And now the question is, which one should I go for? And I'm curious, leave a comment for which one would you go for. First thing that I need to do is to remove the stickers, but being so old they're brittle, so a small trick is to get them hot, and like this it's much easier to remove them in one piece. Instead of using a heat gun, I use my torch just because I had it in my reach. After I remove the sticker, look at these ones. It looks like it's seen better days. But who knows how old these wheels are, so it's no surprise that they have all sorts of marks and dents. On the other hand, this is the cool thing about having wheels made out of steel. I can repair them with a hammer. I just need to take my time and hit the lip until I get it as straight as possible. And after I finish the first wheel, I need to repeat the process for the other three. I also remove the balancing weights and I use 240 grit sanding paper to get rid of all the dirt and rust. And with the wheels straight and sanded, they're ready for the next step. I've improvised the stand outside, I masked and degreased the wheels, left them to dry, and I started to spray the filler. By the time I finished the last wheel, the first one was dry enough to start again. I've applied 3 coats in total, and this should be enough to cover all the imperfections. Next day after the filler dried, because the face of a wheel has a lot of intricate surfaces, it's easier to use contour sanding pads since these are a bit thicker and follow the surface better than paper. Now I'm degreasing them with silicone remover and... now it's just the final coat of paint. As you can see, they're nice and ready for paint. For the finish, I've chosen gloss black to tie in together with the rest of the parts found on the car. The paint that I'm using is called 2K and it leaves a high gloss finish without the need of a clear coat. With a small spray pattern, I started painting the hard to reach places first, and after I continued to cover the rest with a larger pattern. Then I moved the wheels inside to dry, because if I leave them outside overnight they can make condensation and that is going to ruin the paint job. And after I left them to dry overnight, the question is... behind masking number 1, which tire is it going to be? And it's the Pirelli! Whoa! Although it's already such a transformation, I think I can do better. Performance wheels oftentimes are modular, meaning they're bolted together, and those bolts look actually really cool. That's why a lot of normal alloys have them as ornaments. Therefore, to complete the look, I've decided to use bolts as well, but there are a couple of problems. First, mine are steels, and second, they don't have any holes for the nuts, but I'll show you in a bit how I'm going to deal with them. Previously, when I needed to order some for another project and this came up, I remember thinking, who is going to order such atrocities? But to be honest, I'm so happy that I found this, because I think I bought the last ones from the internet and they're exactly what I want for this build. They're made of soft plastic, so I'm going to cut the ends first with a pair of snips and then I'm going to trim them flat with a sharp knife. After, I'm going to install them on a clear double-sided tape, and don't worry, I've done this before many years ago and they are still on the wheels, so it works. Now I just need to make a very high-tech tool to know where to actually place the nuts. I'm using some leftover cardboard to make a template, I'm aligning the tool to the edge of the spoke, and then I have my exact spot for the nut. As for the other side, I just flip the template and like this they're going to be consistent and not have them all over the place. And the result, I have to say, these made such a big difference. And if you like this, you need to watch the next episode in which I'm cutting the dashboard and the interior is starting to take shape. So click or tap on the screen and watch this video here. My name is Camil, thank you for watching, I'll see you next time.